The Odyssey's forbidden feast, the cattle of Helios. A hunger that dooms. Picture a crew so desperate, so starved, that they defy a god's command for a single meal, only to pay with their lives. That's the tragic error that unfolds with the cattle of Helios, a moment that seals the fate of Odysseus's men. Welcome to Gods and Heroes Unveiled, where Greek mythology roars to life. Today, we're diving into the Odyssey's forbidden feast, the cattle of Helios, focusing on the crew's fatal mistake and the disaster it unleashes on their journey home. If you're gripped by tales of gods, heroes, and epic missteps, subscribe now and join us on this doomed voyage through the Odyssey. Let's uncover the cost of temptation. The sacred herd, a warning ignored. After surviving the horrors of Scylla and Charybdis, Odysseus and his crew land on Thrinacia, the island of Helios, the sun god. They're battered. 6 men lost to Scylla's jaws, their single ship creaking under Poseidon's relentless curse. Thrinacia glows with promise, lush fields, fat cattle grazing under the sun's eternal watch. But it's a trap, and Odysseus knows it. Circe warned him before they left her island. Helios's cattle are sacred, untouchable, harm them, and doom follows. Tiresias, the prophet from the underworld, echoed the same. Touch the herd, and the crew dies, Odysseus left alone. He relays this to his men, stern and clear. No matter how hungry, leave the cattle be. They have supplies from Circe enough for weeks if rationed. He orders them to camp far from the herd, to fish, to scavenge, anything but touch those sacred beasts. Helios, unlike Poseidon, isn't hunting them, but his wrath is no less fierce. His cattle aren't just livestock, they're divine. Each one counted, their golden hides a symbol of his power. The crew nods, weary but obedient, their trust in Odysseus frayed after years of loss. They've seen Polyphemus's cave, felt the siren's pull, and heard Scylla's victims scream. Surely they'll listen now. But hunger is a cruel master, and Thrinacia's bounty taunts them. The island feels like a cruel jest, Poseidon's curse tightening its grip. Safety within reach, yet forbidden. As days drag on, the stage is set for a fatal choice, one that tests not just loyalty, but survival itself. The fatal feast, betrayal and blasphemy. Disaster strikes not from monsters or storms, but from human weakness. Odysseus, exhausted, leaves his crew to pray alone, seeking guidance from the gods. He falls asleep, a rare lapse for a man always vigilant. Meanwhile, Eurylochus, his second in command, seizes the moment. The crew's supplies dwindle, fishing yields nothing, and starvation looms. Eurylochus, bitter from Scylla's losses and years of hardship, rallies the men. Death comes anyway, he argues. Why starve when cattle roam free? We'll sacrifice to Helios, make amends later. His words ignite their hunger, drowning out Odysseus's warnings. They slaughter the sacred cattle, choosing the fattest, their knives swift as they roast the meat over stolen fires. The aroma fills the air, a mockery of divine law. For 6 days, they feast, gorging on forbidden flesh, convincing themselves the gods will forgive. But the signs are grim, hides crawl unnaturally. The meat moves on the spits, omens of Helios's fury. Odysseus wakes to the betrayal, his heart sinking at the smoke and stench. He confronts them, but it's too late. The deed is done. Eurylochus' defiance isn't just disobedience, it's blasphemy, a direct challenge to Helios' sanctity. The crew's choice reflects their breaking point, faith in Odysseus and Ithaca eroded by endless trials. They're not villains, but men pushed past reason, their loyalty undone by despair. Poseidon's curse didn't force their hands, hunger and doubt did. This isn't Odysseus' failure, He warned, he led, but it's his burden. The feast is a wound deeper than Scylla's claws, a betrayal that cuts at his role as captain. As they prepare to sail, the sky darkens, a storm brewing not of Poseidon, but of a new god's wrath. The divine retribution, a crew wiped out. Helios, enraged, demands justice. His cattle are his pride, each slaughter an insult to his divine order. He storms to Zeus, threatening to drag the sun into the underworld if the crime goes unpunished. Zeus, king of the gods, agrees. No mortal defies a god so brazenly. As Odysseus's ship leaves Thrinacia, the trap snaps shut. A storm erupts, not Poseidon's, but Zeus's, lightning splitting the mast, waves tearing the hull apart. The crew, bellies full of stolen meat, scream as the sea claims them. One by one, they drown, their bodies lost to the deep. Odysseus, clinging to wreckage, survives alone, washed toward Calypso's island, where 7 years of exile await. This isn't chance, it's retribution, swift and total. The cattle's slaughter costs Odysseus everything: his men, his ship, his last tether to Ithaca. The disaster reshapes the Odyssey, stripping him from leader to lone wanderer, his homecoming now a solitary quest. The crew's mistake isn't just a plot twist, it's a tragedy of human frailty. They weren't evil, only desperate, their choice a spark that burned them all. For Odysseus, the loss is personal. He trusted Eurylochus, believed his warnings would hold. The guilt weighs heavy, not for the act, but for failing to keep them whole. Helios's wrath underscores a brutal truth: divine rules aren't flexible, and mortals pay the price. The feast's aftermath echoes beyond Thrinacia, a warning carved into Odysseus's soul as he faces years alone, Poseidon's curse now joined by this new scar. Outro, a feast that ends all hope. The forbidden feast on Helios's cattle marks the crew's fatal error, their hunger defying divine law and triggering a storm that spares only Odysseus. This tragedy of betrayal and retribution leaves him alone, his journey darker than ever. What's next for our lone hero? Subscribe to Gods and Heroes Unveiled to find out. Don't miss a moment. Tell me below, could you resist the cattle, or would hunger break you too? Let's keep this epic alive together.